be calling me because I got a situation going on, but I'll keep you in tune, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right, guys, what's up? YouTube, we live, and I got my boy Killer Miller Q in the house. What's up, Mr. Killer Miller?
What's going on, T, man? Thanks for having me on, bro.
Hey, man, we're doing good. We're doing good. Let's wait a little bit. Let people jump in. I announced that you was coming on, that you'll be here. We are here, and we are live. So, when we start getting people to jump on, we'll start going in. Right now, we have a couple people on. And guys, this is the link, Mr. Killer Miller Q, guys. If you see this and you want to subscribe to his channel, this is his YouTube channel, guys. Click on the link, subscribe, go over there and check his videos out. So before I do anything, guys, let's have Mr. Miller, Killer Miller from Killer Miller Q, talk about his YouTube channel. We need to have some more people come on. We got 3 people on. Okay, that's what's up. We got 3 people looking. We'll have a couple more coming on.
Let me see if I can figure out. There we go. I think I seen the chat now.
All right. I don't see no chats coming up yet. But
okay. Yeah, I just see where you put the link in.
Okay, but that's okay. So, like the old preacher, I don't want you to repeat yourself a lot, guys. So we're going to let a couple more. What's up, Mike? How you doing?
Yeah.
Mr. Mike is in here from Atlanta, Georgia. John is in here. What's up, John? From California. Okay, we got him coming in. Dallas, Texas in the house. East H-Town in the house. Somebody knocking those boots. H-Town. Oh man, we got him coming on in. Okay. So guys, I'm gonna introduce Mr. Killer Miller. Look, I'm gonna put his link right here, guys. What y'all need to do is go over there and subscribe to his channel. If y'all don't know nothing about some Q, check this man out. This man got the offset cooker. Oh, this man got
the other way.
Yeah. Oh, this man right here. This man
there we go.
Here got an offset cooker, pellet grill. He has a Green Mountain, and he does it all. I'm telling you, go check out Mr. Killer Miller Q, guy. But he's here. Let him tell you about himself and what he do on his YouTube channel. I'm finna shut up and let Mr. Killer Miller talk about what's going on in his world, in Killer Miller Q world.
Well, man, you ain't got to shut up that much. Otherwise, we ain't going to have that much to say. We go back and forth a little bit, but definitely I kind of kick it off. You know, obviously, I'm glad we finally got a chance to connect and do this here. More or less, I guess, what everybody will find on my channels. I like to cook on a lot of different smokers and cookers. Like he was saying, I like to play around a bit. I got an offset smoker, a Lone Star Grills offset. I do some cooks off of my Green Mountain pellet grill. I do some things on the Blackstone and get out there on the griddle, as well as pulling out that old-fashioned kettle grill. So I like to kind of mix it up in between it all. So more than anything, man, I'll try to keep it pretty simple on my channel, and just more or less throw out as many tips and tricks that I done kind of learned over the years, and show people how easy it is to go ahead and get out there and start cooking some of this stuff on your own. And saving you a little bit of money, you know, from being a long-term as a person in health and fitness and a trainer and everything. A lot of times, even when you're eating bad food, it's a lot better if you cook it yourself, or at least for what it said, you can burn them calories or at least know exactly what into it. So I just like to enjoy the process, man. And I come from a family where we always enjoy a whole lot of good food. So it just kind of came natural.
All right. So you mentioned something. So, all right. What got my attention when you say you come from the fitness world? So can you give us a little background about the fitness world? Because barbecue and fitness world, guys, do y'all see barbecue, fitness? Hey, we got 2 different perspectives.
No correlation
right here. But let's tie it in. How can we love this barbecue and fitness together, guys? So Mr. Killer Miller, why don't you elaborate on that subject?
Yes. For sure, man. And that's going to be something that I plan on also bringing that we're going to talk a little bit more about as we kind of talk deeper into the fitness. It's something I'm gonna be bringing in more of my channel as I kind of start to get together a paid type of like a subscription or something where I can add a little bit more out there. My background, from playing college football and everything was I always was in that kind of health and fitness. I was a long-term personal trainer, and I used to have a gym out here in Arizona. And then even right now, I still work in the fitness industry. I work for NASM, the National Academy of Sports Medicine. So pretty much what I do now is that's kind of like if you're getting to be a personal trainer, that's going to be pretty much one of your number one search you can have where you can train anywhere in the country. So I help gyms across the country get their personal trainer staffs and get them all educated and get them lined up. So I kind of look at it like the progression of my career, from years of being a trainer, training classes. I taught boxing and kickboxing for years and everything. And then now kind of being a little bit more behind the scenes more and kind of helping more people get lined up with doing the exact same thing. So it's kind of my way of being able to kind of be able to help more people and kind of spread some more positivity. With the kind of, I guess where this thing kind of links together is for me, obviously that's what I still do for a daily. But when I initially got into doing the smoking and the grilling, it was something that I always wanted to do on the weekend, kind of my cheat time. And when can I cook me a little bit of something that would be out of my normal, just patterned out type of a meal? And that's kind of when I got into doing weekend cooks and stuff. And that was years before I ever started creating. But really what made me start creating was when I got my Lone Star grill. And, after you spend all that money and you get you a custom cooker, you be looking at anything and everything, trying to make sure that you actually got the one you wanted, got the features you wanted, make sure that it's actually something you're going to pull the trigger on. And, you start watching everybody's content and I just start saying, maybe I should add on some stuff. So it's some stuff there for somebody else when they go to look. And then for the longest time, my family been saying, dude, you should do that. You can do that. They would come by and eat. They was like, you can do better, blah, blah, blah. You personable. You can get out there and do that. But really, it was kind of they push that kind of really got ahead and got me out there.
Okay, we got a question. Do you barbecue healthy food?
I do. I would say this too. And I'm sure you can subscribe or speak on this one, T. When you talk about barbecue, you can go layers and layers of how fatty and how nasty you want to make it. We can really get in there and not care and butter down everything and make sure that you get it as rich as possible. But truthfully, if you watch a lot of my cooks, I don't probably go as hard as some people do. I trim harder than probably a lot of people do. I don't overly butter and stuff like that. I've kind of learned, over the time. But definitely one thing that I don't show a lot now, I usually kind of show more of the fun cooks and the things that people be looking to do or they want to learn on how to do. I don't show a lot of what I do during the week because I don't eat like that during the week, which is normally why I always talk about you. I always talk about how much meat you got on the grill compared to I got my little one slab that I'm going to show somebody how to make. You got 50 slabs along with 50 pork butts over there or something like that. But literally that one slab gonna be whatever I'm gonna eat for that weekend. And by the time I get to the week, usually I do a totally different thing. But you can definitely barbecue and meal prep and kind of do some different things there because really it's all just about making sure that you take the time to get everything laid out.
So when I see you barbecue, Killer Miller, you don't, and I talk to you on a personal level. You don't seem like the kind that forces people like, oh man, you got to eat healthy. You got to eat healthy. You're more of like a gentle, not a suggestion, but you're more like all right, you need to eat healthy, but here's the game plan kind of guy. Like, can you give us some roadmaps? Because see, when we think about barbecue and you say you train, you do things different throughout the week. Do you think you could do some YouTube videos of what you do after the week on the grill?
Yep, I totally can. That was actually something I thought would be kind of good to kind of go with. Initially, I thought about doing that, but I felt like I didn't want to. I wanted to first establish myself in the space as being somebody that actually knew what he was doing on the grill before I start bringing in all the fitness stuff. Because everybody that know me always knew me from either sports or fitness, So that's pretty much all that was. But at the end of the day, I wanted to first and foremost be able to cook, and then we can talk about some other ways we can kind of stray away from it and do a little different. But definitely, I think that could be something I could put together for sure.
Well, you already proved you could cook, bro. I'm just being honest with this. Yeah, hey, man, look, y'all got to go check out Killer Miller Q's, man. So, Birmingham, Alabama in the house, guys. We got a lot of questions, man. We got to get questions going.
Like it. Let's get the questions.
Let's get the questions. So I'm gonna ask a couple questions, okay? My first
I know you have
question
some fitness ones too. Let's do it.
All right, my first question is, what cook was your funnest cook on a video? Like, what was the cook? If I say I want to put a cook on your video and I want to post that into the chat, and you want to be known by one cook, what will be that cook? I'm gonna go there and get that video right now.
Oh man, that's tough, T.
Hey,
I got some good cooks for you, man. You sure you want me to just pull out one?
Well, they're gonna go check you out. Trust me, they're gonna check your authenticity out. Cause hey, he is the truth. I'm vouching for him. He is who he is. He is who he say he is. In the words of what's that Coach Green? Is it Kevin Green? What he say? They are who we thought they are.
Yeah, Dennis Green.
Dennis Green, yeah.
Who we thought they were.
They are who he is. Who he say he is. He is the man with the barbecue. But if you say, all right, I want to be known for this one cook.
All right. So this one, first off, I gotta tell you why, and then I'll tell you which one I like. This is the one I'll tell you to check out. Kevin Will, I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna take care of you. New video comes every Wednesday morning. So we got one coming tomorrow. That's gonna be a good one. So make sure y'all check that out. That's a side thing. But this is what I tell you for the video, as far as the one to post. I'm gonna say, look at my jerk chicken video. And the reason I like that video, because at first it was a couple other ones I was thinking about, was one thing that I take pride in, especially if I'm gonna do a recipe that's like, you know, from indigenous lands or with somebody else. I like to make sure that I can try to get that thing as authentic as I can. I like to do fresh stuff. I like, you know, real and natural flavorings and stuff like that, as we spoke towards earlier, how to be a little bit more healthier. One thing that's easier, stick towards natural stuff versus putting in a lot of, you know, processed seasonings and all of that stuff, because they got way more extra additive stuff in there, so that stuff lasts forever on the shelf. So I'd much rather go out there and I'm gonna squeeze that lemon. I'm gonna go get the leaves. I'm gonna break it all down. I'm gonna grind it. And I want it to taste more flavorful, which you always can tell the difference. Not that you can't get away with some of the other stuff as well. But the reason I like that jerk chicken cook was it challenged me in a few ways. First off, it took me a while to go watch a lot of different videos from people in Jamaica and stuff like that, and trying my best to mimic the recipe of how they do it the right way. Then as far as the actual ingredients that they had, all the way down to couldn't get the pimento wood, but got the pimento berries to be able to kind of put into the fire. And then one of the other things that's always been a challenge for me, or I done learned really over the last year with doing these videos, that I remember specifically on that cook was tough, was I'm out here in Arizona. So when I'm cooking in the summer, you know, it's 110, 115 before I even turn the grill on, let alone the grill closed up, so it's even warmer in there. And I was trying to cook that jerk chicken at no higher than 250 degrees, because you're trying to smoke it more or less over a direct flame without necessarily letting it flare up and get burnt up. So, I mean, it had me out there definitely challenging my skills a little bit to really pull it off. But that came out to be a great cook. So I would say check that one out.
Jerk chicken video. I'm looking for it right now as we speak. I see mojo chicken.
Keep going back.
Oh, go back. Okay.
Keep going back.
All right, I'm going back. I see Snake River Farm pork. Worth it? It wasn't?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think I would have went with my local butcher on that one for that particular. Okay. Now, when I went to the Snake River Farms briskets, you could tell the difference when you got to that Wagyu brisket.
Okay,
I know you know that.
Hey, look, man. Hey, you get what you pay for when it comes to brisket.
With the beef, I could tell the difference. And that pork, I mean, I feel like I was getting some pretty decent stuff at my butcher where I wouldn't have had to pay as much, though. And it was still pretty good.
Okay. So I'm having a hard time finding the jerk chicken.
Let me see if I can find it. I'll pop it in the chat real quick, fast.
Okay, because I was having a hard time finding it. And I'm like, wow, I got to find this jerk chicken video, because I am like, oh my goodness.
That'd be the one I would tell you on.
Hey, look, but I'm gonna post his channel in the chat. Killer Miller's cute, guy. Look. There goes his website, guys. Go subscribe to his channel. That's what you need to do. And if you subscribe to his channel, you will be rewarded. Trust me. I be picking up a lot of little things he be doing that'll be like, oh, okay, because you can always teach your old dog new tricks. I'm telling you,
Right.
I'm looking. I'm like, okay. So we talking about barbecue now, okay? And we're talking about healthy barbecuing, this and that. So, what are some things that I can do that you see me on my YouTube channel that you can say, all right, T, if I'm okay, I'll tell you what I do like to eat, okay?
Okay.
Because a lot of this stuff I cook, I'm not a pulled pork. I eat pulled pork, but I'm not a pulled pork. I'm a pulled pork fan, but I'm not a pulled pork eater as much, okay? I like steak. I like picanha steak. Well, that is steak. Uh, I like chicken wings, and things of that nature. I like ribs, beef ribs, pork ribs. You know, I like brisket. You know, so what are some things I can do? Is it the size that I'm adding with the meat, or is it just the meat, or what? What are some things that you can say, all right, T, if you can enjoy this, but you got to cut back on this.
Right. Okay, so there's levels to this, like anything in life, right?
Yeah.
So first and foremost, whenever we talking about like the meats that you're gonna eat, you want to have good, protein, and eating meats is gonna be better than eating a lot of times the fats and the sides and stuff like that, the breads and all the extra. So if we were sticking to more of a meat diet than less of the extra extras, you'd probably be better off more than not. Now, with that said, all meats are not created equal. There's a lot more salt and a lot more fat when you get into pork, and then when you get into beef. Now, pork more or less is more saltier, right? With that said, beef got more fat in it. Now, sometimes that fat is a good fat that your body actually needs, especially when you're working out and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to take fat off your body, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to put a bunch of fat in your body for us to get you there, if that make any sense,
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
you want to go with the leaner meat. So, and that's why I tell you, when I'm eating during the week, I usually am trying to eat more chicken, more fish, or more turkey. The white meats are light meats. Think of it like that. The white meats are light meats, right? Those flow through you a lot quicker. Now, outside of sitting there with the Thanksgiving turkey or whatever, but a lot of times that'd be all the sides and stuff that go in there too. But one thing that I was gonna quickly tell you is my go-to, especially with still loving to be able to, because I enjoy the experience of just lighting up my grill and smoking and so on and so forth. My go-to a lot of times when I'm doing my prep for during the week is I'll do a whole chicken, whether I choose to spatchcock it, whether I do the whole chicken on the rack, whatever have you. And at the end of the day, kind of going back, we was, when I believe it was her actually, and I don't want to say her name wrong. It might be Tiana. If I not, I apologize. She was asking
Miss
about the
Scott.
healthy.
Miss
There
Scott.
we go, Miss Scott. I'll be safe with that. When she was asking about healthier ways or things that I do, I'll usually do something like that chicken. And when you're talking about the chicken, I don't have to kill that for that to be seasoned up and it tastes good. Whether we just, like we was talking earlier, we just did SPG on that chicken. I can rub it down with some olive oil, a healthier oil, and then hit it with some SPG and go ahead and smoke that thing. And I ain't got to do nothing else to it. At the end of the day, and I'm not adding a lot to it. The fat is dripping up off of it, and I got me some chicken for the week. So then when we get into some of your sides that you're talking about, you want to stick with some lighter sides, and it's not going to be the sides that we use too traditional in our Southern diet. So, we ain't gonna get the greens and all the so on and so forth because they ain't got no nutrients left in them, not to mention we didn't boil them with hog maws or whatever have you, and we didn't added all that fat to it. So usually I'm gonna be more towards like some brown rice, that's where you want to try to work in your salad, get you some greens in there and stuff like that, and really kind of be able to get more of what's gonna help your body flow. And then one of the easiest things I would tell you before we even get to the grill, drink more water.
Okay.
One of the biggest things you can do. Drink more water.
You told me this, and that stuck with me. Like, I had a lot of doctors tell me drink water, but you kind of put it in a different perspective of drinking water. Can you just explain a little bit? Because I don't want to take away from your future videos.
No, that's
So
okay. You helping me think about some of them, to be honest with you.
yeah,
This is stuff that I talk about so much I don't even think about. But to know that somebody else don't know, it reminds me that I need to put it out there.
okay. So why don't you go with that water thing, guys? Because this is gonna be amazing.
So just in general, when we talking about one of the first things, when I'm like working with a client or we talking about trying to lose weight, the average person in America, I don't want to just say an American, but a person in America, everybody we know, shall we say, we don't drink enough water on average. And I don't mean, Kool-Aid or, iced tea, is that, I mean water, straight up water. At the end of the day, your water, your body is like 70% water. This world is like 70% water. Water is what makes everything flow. So when we talk about you trying to excrete fat, get fat out of your body, people talk about they being bloated and stuff like that. If we want things to flow, you need water. When you get dehydrated, things hold on to in the body, right? So the first things that you learn, and another thing too, even when we talk about your appetite, more than half of the time when you think you're hungry, you're actually thirsty. But most of the time you'll go for food right off the bat because that's just our natural flow. But if we drank more water, that would satiate you. So maybe you first off wouldn't be hungry. The other thing is your muscles are predominantly water. At the end of the day, they basically made up of protein and water, which is the two things that generally in a diet that most people in America don't get enough of. We don't eat enough protein and we don't drink enough water. Hence why you don't have a lot of people that's fit in America, because we don't first off eat right, let alone before we even talk about exercise, working out, walking, cardiovascular, any of that stuff. So the easiest thing that I can tell you before we even go to the grill is focus on drinking more water. That will help influence you to maybe have some better choices, eat less, snack less, that type of stuff. And it kind of just one thing leads to the next type of deal. And then just the easy rule of thumb, kind of how they'll teach you how much water you should be getting in. I would usually say you want to take your body weight and then you want half of that in ounces, whatever it is. So if you're 200 pounds, you want about 100 ounces of water that you want to drink a day. And then to some degree, I will adjust that based off of like maybe my goals. So if I'm 200 pounds, but I really want to be about 180, I'll kind of think of it more around the range of 180. But I'm saying now if I'm 300 pounds and I want to be 200, I don't want to necessarily be jumping that far because that's not where you're at yet. Hopefully all that makes sense.
Yes, yes, yes. So when we're talking about the healthy, we're discussing like right now where we're at, Coach Mac, everybody, we're at like balance. I look at it as a balance. And I look at you as a balance. Like, okay,
Sure.
I see you caught this amazing barbecue, but I also know a balanced side to you. It's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of
It's
thing.
totally that. If my whole
Huh?
life been Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. You know what? Maybe that's that football player in me. You gotta have that
Yeah.
switch, right? You gotta be
Yes,
able to turn
yes.
that thing off. So I mean, if anything, I guess I've been living the weekend warrior life for a long time. Like I said, when from days of strictly being in the gym nonstop to okay, cool. I got classes that I'm gonna teach on Saturday, and yes, I'm done for Saturday afternoon. I don't got no classes on Sunday. I'm gonna cook something. We're gonna sit back. I love watching my sports. Love football, whatever it is. I enjoy that. And then, Monday it's time to kick all that to the curb and jump back on the horse with all the good stuff.
Okay, okay. And I got one person with lemon.
Water with lemon, that's my favorite drink. Got it in my fridge right next to me. Lemon is a
Wow.
good antioxidant. So at the end of the day, not only will it help you with like just being healthier, fighting off sicknesses, stuff like that, vitamin C, right? People always talk about when they get sick, they want to go drink, go get some oranges, go have some orange juice, get that vitamin C up in you. But also with the lemon, it's also good for like, it got a million different, if you look it up, you can literally clean things with just lemon water and stuff like that. But it's good with just helping you purify your system and get out toxins.
Okay, guys, for y'all guys that just jumping on, we here with Killer Miller Q. He's telling us about balance, how to barbecue, great
Balance
barbecue,
that thing.
guys, but also how to balance that thing out, guys, because I see a lot of people pushing barbecue, pushing barbecue, pushing barbecue. I'm one of those guys. I push barbecue till your arteries clog on you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because but with that being said, we need to have balance. We want everybody to have
Balance.
long, healthy lives. And in order to do that, we got to understand balance when it comes to something. So one thing that I'm taking away from this conversation already is that, okay, it's not necessary to barbecue, but I compare my ribs with some couscous or a nice salad with a half rack of ribs, I could not believe this other day. I had a salad and my wife just got like some extra virgin olive oil, some salt and pepper, and lemon juice and put on the salad. And I was like, this the bomb.
That was banging. I don't
It
even
was
need much of
banging.
my salads no more, man. I remember growing up, mama salads, we had French dressing, all the rest on there. Now I don't even really need a whole lot of dressing. I want to taste the lettuce and everything.
Okay. So Miss Tawana Scott got something to talk to you about.
Since you always thought the participants in the barbecue competitions on TV use way too much butter and sugar, and I initially, I agree with you. I initially kind of got started with wanting to do smoking and grilling from watching Barbecue Pitmasters. Probably like a lot of people, I would sit there and I love process. I love kind of the same with training, man. I love seeing something start in one position and you put the work in and then it changes. I like doing yard work for the same reason. You put the work in and you come back out, hours later, I look back, the whole yard looked different. I like that. And I kind of, saw that and I fell in love with it. So initially, everything that I was trying to do from what the way I had saw them doing it, and they would make the ribs and all the butters and the candies on there and, all the extra brown sugar and this, that, and the other. And even I would hear them say a lot of times, that they called them candy ribs, and that's the way that the judges liked them. But they said truthfully for them that they didn't really like them like that, and that's how they wouldn't eat them. And after trying to do theirs for a while, now that I done kind of more or less settle into where I'm comfortable, I don't do mine like that either. I barely do anything when I wrap mine up and spritz them. I like to taste my rubs more. I like more of the garlicky taste and stuff like that. And if anything, the barbecue sauce at the end should finish it off. I don't really need to do all the rest.
So, are you a prodigal son of barbecue now?
I guess so, and everything else.
Hey, I'm coming back to the simple times. I done went out and tried everything.
I done played around, man, and I done came on back and settled at the truth, man.
And selling the truth, SBG.
Good old, just some of the basic stuff, man. And then kind of like we were talking about, them different levels of barbecue. And this is something I used to always say with fitness too. You can't do everything right potentially, but that don't mean you got to do everything wrong either. And a lot of times I feel like once we're going down one lane, you can't do it. Maybe okay, so you can't do everything right, but that don't mean you got to do everything wrong. So like when you was just talking about with your ribs and stuff like that, just because you decided to go ahead and have ribs, that don't mean that now you got to finish that up with this side and the pecans and the this and the yams and the blah, and you eat all that, you can't even stand up. You know what I mean? That's that Thanksgiving food.
Right. What up, brother?
That's my guy. Here we go. Black Smoke Barbecue. What's up, Eddie?
Yes. What's up, Eddie, man? How you doing, bro? Mississippi in the house.
Yes, Jackson.
How you do that?
That overall, I don't, you don't got to always do all of that though. You can keep it simple.
Yes, and I think about that so much because how can I say this without saying this? When I have something so basic, like my ancestors grew up cooking with just salt and pepper. They didn't have the pecan rub. They didn't have the different kind of things. All they had was growing up salt, pepper, garlic, things of that nature, and the mop, the vinegar, the stuff that helped to keep the meat from going bad. So I appreciate that type of cooking now. And I think I really think the whole barbecue movement is going back to that era again. I really feel like it's a push backwards, kind of like, wait a minute, let's pump our brakes. We're getting a little carried away with the candy.
They probably came out like me. They was looking at all the Barbecue Pitmaster stuff, and you try to follow all of that. But when you in the backyard and you sitting there putting all that brown sugar on everything, and you this, that, and the other, you making that stuff so rich. you know, half the time you can't even barely eat, you know, a couple slices or a couple pieces before you like completely full. But you done added so much to it. Another thing too, I started to notice was once you start adding all that stuff onto there, a lot of times you block all the smoke from being able to get in there. I like to be able to taste that clean smoke.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got a question.
What's the big difference between foil wrap ribs and the butcher paper? Rajan, I appreciate you, man. I feel like I've seen you too a couple times. You know, I actually did a video on that not too long ago, at least as far as, you know, my what I noticed was my foil wrap ribs, they didn't have the texture that, because I did one that I did on the whole time on the rack. One of them I wrapped with butcher paper. The other one I went ahead and I wrapped with aluminum foil like I always used to, more or less. And I kept them all simple, just SPG or more or less. At the end of the day, the ones that was in the foil, they didn't have the texture that the two, the butcher paper and that the on the rack ribs had. The foil ones was definitely more tender, and they didn't have as much smoke flavor in there as either. Personally, I like the ones, I believe, with like the butcher paper or the ones on the rack. So that's kind of where I'm gonna start sliding to. All of them's good though.
Thank you, Miss Scott. Appreciate it. So I will be honest with you. My uncle said he used to always get mad at me. He, you know, and he used to tell me in a way where I used to have to be like, "Come on, I mean, he'd be like, boy, blankety blank, blankety beep, 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 putting a foil on your ribs. We never foil no blankety blink ribs, you know." And one day we forgot the foil at home. And I said, Uncle said, "What we gonna do?" He said, "Man,
that's right.
Whenever we ever had foil before," and he said, "Man, you better let the ribs ride and mop them down." And I just mopped in 4 hours and a half. We couldn't even take the ribs off the grill; they were falling off the bone. So, I really think that I'm for no wrap ribs now. Like I just love that texture. I just love that pull. Not a tough pull, but like you say, I love that texture. I love that pull. You know, but if I was to wrap them, it would be butcher's paper.
Yep.
You know, to me, when you put things in foil, you lose all the texture. But to me, I'm a foil magic when it comes to brisket. I just believe a brisket, nothing can make a brisket like aluminum foil. I'm sorry, I'm sold on aluminum foil. I done went through the butcher paper crisis and got 5 rolls of butcher paper up on my little attic step. Hey, Killer Miller, Q, why don't you come to Iowa when you come down to visit, and I give you all this butcher paper I got.
Go give me some of that paper.
Yeah, because I'm a foil guy, you know what I'm saying, and butcher's paper. You know, so you said a jerk chicken is one of your favorite cooks, okay?
I just sent it to you in the private, so you might have it now.
Okay.
I couldn't figure out how to shoot it over there to our main chat.
I got it right here.
I say that one. That one, at least I got to show a little bit of skill. So, you know, it's respectful.
All
and
right.
It was a great recipe.
So with the jerk chicken now, we're going to talk about eating now. So the jerk chicken, do you think that all right, I'm putting the jerk chicken up right now, guys, okay? So with the jerk chicken, was the taste, it was the process, it was all the above?
All the above. That's why I try to, if you want to ask me and put me on the spot to pick one out of every cook that we did, I want to give you one where the food was good. And then also for the people that appreciate and take the time to actually look at the process, we put a little bit of work in on that one.
Oh man.
Like I said, under 250 NAZ by about 115 out, cooking directly over the rack. I mean, I was literally shoveling coals in like I was doing a whole hog or something, man.
Wow, man, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about.
It was fun, and it came out fire too.
That's what I'm talking. Uncle said doing good. He doing real good. Well, I got 2 videos that I mean, I love all your videos, Killer Miller, but I got 2 videos that I absolutely love. Okay. All right. It's your beef rib video.
I was about to say that one. That was my first time doing a beef rib, the plate rib.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it
man,
was.
Man, you guy. Don't make me put you on the machines. Don't make me put you on one of the machines
I'm telling you, man, I have been sitting there with pork all the time as far as ribs. I'm just now starting to turn the corner. I'm all beef ribs now, I believe.
Yes. Okay. So your beef ribs, and I got to say, your beef rib video, and you did a brisket video. And the brisket video, I think, was one of your difficult videos. I could tell because you was at your father's house.
Oh, okay. The foil boat brisket.
And you did not have the stuff that you used to have. Yeah. I could just tell the way you was talking, like, hey man, you know, you like me. I like telling people why I'm doing this because I ain't got this, you know, because hey, y'all know if I had this, it wouldn't be like this, you know what I'm saying? But the reason why you proved yourself on that, because anybody can cook when they're used to cooking on something. Yep. But when you step outside of that comfort zone and you put that on video, like, hey, I'm cooking on this smoker, and I love the cart that your dad made. That was amazing.
That's my dad, man. Actually, you know, you're going to love, make sure you check out tomorrow morning's video too, because I'm just getting back from being in Ohio for my daughter's birthday, and I'm doing a whole, I did a big cook at the house back on that cart and had to do a little something for her party.
Okay. Jerk chicken too and jerk pork. You got to do jerk pork next.
I know I need to. I did a quick little shorter one where I used the rest of that marinade and did some pork kebabs. They came out pretty good too.
Hey, what if we do a jerk pork loin? Would that be good?
Can't be bad.
Man, I'm telling you what, man, like I'm tired of this plain old barbecue. Like I never did anything jerk before. Never. Cause I don't know. I'm not everything that tastes like earthy, like cumin and spices like that, I never got into because I don't know, I just never did. But my palate needs to grow. Like I'm getting into the chimichangas and moles and different. So this year I'm gonna challenge myself to try to step outside of my comfort zone.
There you go.
Can you go with me, Mr. Miller?
Hey man, that's all I've been trying to do, man. You know, I enjoy it.
You enjoy going outside the comfort zone?
Now, with that said, don't get me wrong. I say that, but I make sure that I stay inside my comfort zone, but I'm willing to do something I ain't did before. But at the end of the day, I ain't gonna end up with something that I don't mess with.
hey,
but I mean,
jerk pork butter, jerk rib. Hey, man, that'll be good, man.
I thought about the jerk ribs. I want to say Pop Joe did some jerk ribs, and I had thought about that as well. That probably wouldn't be bad at all. And that pork butter would probably be great too.
Oh man, you know, cause I'm tired of plain pork butt, man. I'm sorry.
You is too.
I mean, I know you got an amazing pork butt video using that TNT mop sauce. I know you do.
That's right.
You do. Hey, one thing though, I can tell you, and I'm biased with this video, but it's not my favorite because it was an amazing video, but it don't outstack that one video that we did the brisket. I'm sorry. I got to go with the truth. You know what I'm saying? You should know the truth. The truth set you free. That's the third place video. But one thing I can say, when I seen that video, I was graded it right here. But one thing I noticed that oppressed you more than anything was the salt, pepper, and garlic. You like amazed, bro. Like, I know the truth, and I'm set free right now. I'm from the bondage of buying my rubs.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
I got control now.
You know what I think it was that I liked about it so much? Like I told you, having the control to be able to, you know, decide on how much salt you want to put in there, or if you want to make it more salty, depending on if you got another rub, if it was going to come on top. The other thing I liked was, and instantly it all made sense once I actually just did it once myself. I feel like whenever I would get SPG in the store, you don't get nowhere near the same size of the granules and everything. So just from as soon as I poured it on there, not only could I smell the garlic where I normally don't smell the garlic coming off my SPG like that, but I had all that nice coarse black pepper on there. The bark was already set before it even touched the grill. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got Groveland, Florida in the house. I remember going down there in Groveland.
Your neck of the woods.
Hey, working in the watermelon fields in the orange grove. Let me tell you something. I remember being in that hot sun, and my daddy used to tell me down at Groveland and in Apopka, Florida, and all that. My daddy say, boy, you don't get a good education. You don't listen to people in school. This is the kind of work you're gonna do. This is the kind of work you're gonna do, boy.
Me threaten you with the truth.
Hey, trust me. When somebody tell me a day's work, I know the days and night work is, boy. When you get in the truck and you close the door, you ain't down the street, yeah, you sleep. Hey, that's when you know you're working.
Put your work in.
You know you put the work in. Palatka, Florida in the house. Hey, Meat Freak Barbecue. What's up, brother? Palatka, Florida. Hey, he was supposed to. Hey, look, me and him getting together. When he come see me down in Florida, Mr. Killer Miller, went down to the Florida Gator game, watched the Florida Gators beat up on the South Carolina Gamecocks. Me and my brother got together. He coming to see me though. I'm down there in Royal, Florida. He coming to see me. But one thing, Mr. Miller, I tell you what, Killer Miller. Now, when it comes to sides, okay? If I was coming to your house right now, and I say, hey, I'm on my way. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, get that Lone Star out. What would be a meal? I'm just asking you, what would be the meal? You'd be like, all right, T coming over, honey. Go to the store. When I get there to your house, I'm hugging everybody. We family. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do to show your butt, Mr. Killer Miller? What you gonna do to show your butt?
Oh, now, you know,
man, a jerk chicken gonna be a little too much for me. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I got my wife.
That's gonna be too much work.
No, it won't. No, it won't. Because, you know, when you barbecue, you enjoy other people's barbecue.
No doubt, definitely. I think that's anytime somebody else cooking, and you can always sit back and enjoy it a little bit more.
Yes.
So I will keep it simple for one. I'm a steak guy myself, so I can easily gravitate towards some kind of a reverse seared steak or something like. That's what we would do. We're gonna do tomahawk ribeyes.
Okay.
Big boy baked potatoes. We're gonna smoke the baked potatoes, reverse sear that tomahawk ribeye on the Lone Star, get some good clean smoke on there and sear it off. Otherwise, I was thinking about saying that we was gonna pretty much get out that plate rib.
Okay, now we're talking about good clean smoke. See, and this is what, hey, y'all here listen to this right here. Now you notice that's like the 5th or 6th time he just said that. And the reason why he's saying that, because that matters. To me, that's almost important than what you're putting on your meat.
By far. I'm glad you said that. That's real.
Because can you tell me the importance of, well, I'll tell you the importance of me. When I got to Iowa, okay, I was used to barbecue. Because down there in Florida, we put our meat pit barbecue. We grill our meat. We get the big pits and we get the coals. We burn the coals. We put the coals up under the meat and we flip the meat. We didn't have too much smoke rings, you know what I'm saying? But it was good barbecue. It was great barbecue. When I got up here, I discovered smoking, like hot smoking. And sometimes when I had smoked meat, it was so horrific that I burped it up for the next 3 days.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I don't like smoked meat, honey. I don't like TNT. I don't like smoked meat because it was so offensive to my IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. I'm sitting out here. So to me, clean smoke is a healthy smoke. It ain't gonna mess your IBS up. It's not gonna have you burping. A lot of doctors tell you, you got IBS, you can't eat barbecue.
Yeah, too much carcinogens.
Ooh. Hold on for a second. Learnable moment. Elaborate. You can't say something like too many carcinogens and it falls off your tongue like that. You gotta elaborate on that. Do anybody know what he means by that? Come on, Mr. Bill, elaborate on that now.
Sometimes on that barbecue, especially when they was going over the charcoal, and it would be just too much of that the black charness that can get all around the edges, and when you just really kind of overdoing it. And then kind of when you were talking about with the clean smoke, that was something that I didn't know at first when I was first getting in there and trying to figure out how to smoke. I assumed all I wanted to do was make sure I had some smoke, and I thought the only thing that mattered was having the perfect rub combo or whatever kind of mop I was supposed to be using, and that's what I was looking for. I figured that was the magic ingredients. And I remember the first brisket I tasted, or first brisket I made. First off, I don't even think I had a thermometer, so it was about as hard as a rock, but that thing tasted like gas. I mean, it was all bad. And I thought, we could save it, we could chop it up and put it in a slow cooker, or this, that, and the other. And it was eventually it just kind of was one of them, toss that to the side and make it move. But the clean smoke to me, that's everything. And that's where kind of going back to, you can throw salt, pepper, and garlic on anything. And if you put some clean smoke on there and you cook it to the right temperature, you're going to be happy. Easily, especially when you talk about when you're getting a good cut of meat. You actually got some good meat, it'll cook itself damn near as far as the flavor and everything. And that's where you do get people just saying, oh, you could just do salt and pepper. Now, for my palate, I probably want a little more than salt and pepper. So, like, if anything, like we just said, that salt, pepper, garlic might be the one. But once you get the clean smoke on there and you start with some good meat, you don't got to do too much to it. And that was like you were saying in the beginning, with maybe everybody was doing way too much. We done seen all these tricks and all this stuff, and and everybody came in watching competition people doing their best to wow somebody in a one bite setting. But I'm a backyard smoker. I'm a chill dude. So if we talking about sitting back and eating something for family and friends, that's not gonna probably be what I want. And you don't gotta do all that. Oh, you still muted.
Now, I'm gonna be totally straight up with you. Hey, it does matter, Miss Scott. It matters like you won't believe. Absolutely 100 matter. Clean smokes matter. When it comes down to that simplicity of barbecue, that is the love to a lot of people's hearts. Now, it's a difference between, because it's such a thin line between, you can have backyard barbecue that is amazing. People think simplicity is ugly and burnt and just, you know what I'm saying? They don't understand when you say backyard barbecue, like, you will go out there and you're gonna make that thing look good because you're gonna stack your bones right.
Oh,
you gonna cut them. You're not gonna saw that rib. You got smooth cuts. So when we say backyard barbecue, we're not down in the techniques we're using, because really the techniques that we're using on a backyard barbecue cook is during their competition. What we're doing is we're trying to get the flavor to stand out, where you can say, "Ooh, I taste the salt. Ooh, I taste the pepper. Oh, I taste the smoke. Ooh, I taste the garlic." Not candy, candy. I mean, I'm serious. Like, to me, when you see that with your eyes, and when you see that it been smoked cleanly, because dirty smoke will tell on you, Mrs. Scott, won't it? It'll tell us. It'll tell you, because it'll sit right down on the meat. It'll be like, "Here I go. Here I
taste
go."
that first.
It got a theme music, don't it?
Yep, you'll taste it first and last. You won't have that pretty color on your meat, all of that.
And like my daddy said, be blacker than my.
Yep.
So with that being said, now I see you have a smoker. Oh, she got something to say, Miss Scott. I've tasted was half a hog over a rotisserie. Hey, thank you. You got that coals hitting. You got the fat rendering. You got the meat steaming up. You got all that steaming up, and that's why
DJ.
Those everything comes in handy. Hey guys, we got royalty in the chat, guys. We got Mama and Papa Joe, CJ in the house. In your mouth. Mama and Papa Joe's. Yes, the brisket trimming.
Man, that's protein Picasso right there.
Ooh, man. Hey, I like that. Protein Picasso.
Protein Picasso. I wish I had my cognac for you right now. Tip that thing one time.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been dibbling dabbling, but my buddy brought me some Hennessy White from the islands, and
How you like it?
I like it, but man, I just wanted to try something different. And I've been watching these little TikTok videos, and I like the process of things. And I watched this one guy on TikTok. I forgot his name, but he's a mixologist. And I've been in the old fashions lately. You know that's just been my thing now. So that's what I've been doing. I got the bitters. I got the, you know, I got the, you know, I'm kind of getting into that, you know, not really
This
drinking.
drink.
I'm learning how to enjoy alcohol without enjoying alcohol. Do that make sense?
Yeah, I done heard about it. I still disrespect it.
I can't disrespect it because it disrespects me back.
No, it disrespect us back. That's why
Yeah,
I set up on the weekend warrior trip.
yeah, I hit it one time. It would have hit me 5, 6 times and keep hitting me, and I'd have tapped out hours ago, and it's still hitting. So I'm good with that. So I'm trying to enjoy it in a way where it's like, okay, from the taste.
Yeah, you over there smelling it and swirling it. I ain't mad
Oh
at you.
yeah, I'm trying it. I'm trying it. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. So you know what I'm saying?
That's a good thing.
Oh man.
Great to season the meat like say ribs, but I believe in letting the rib be a rib and not overwhelming to the true flavor. I agree.
I agree 100%, girl. Ooh. So my question: have you tried some real tips yet?
Yeah, I did. I did a video where I broke down the whole pork
Oh yes, you
spare
did.
rib and did the rib tips.
On the kettle grill, right?
Yep.
What you thought about those real tips?
Man, you know I love rib tips, always did. But you know, it's something about when you try. A lot of times, depending on where you go, ordering rib tips at a store have you mad, or a restaurant. You know, they mess around and give you nothing but all the fat and this, that, and the other. Sometimes they might taste good, but don't be no meat on them. But I tell you what, if you get it yourself, man, that's just the easy way to save you some money, man. They charge you more just for the fact that they know how to cut it, and the average person don't. You can cut your own spare rib and end up with a whole lot more meat and save you a couple dollars at the end of the day too. And to
Hey
me,
man,
that'd
look,
be the best. I like the rib tips almost better than the spare rib.
me too. Hey, can
Mhm.
you you know, one thing a guy told
We chopping up a little bit.
me, Mr. Bell,
I'm still here.
about a real tip.
Say that one more time. It was chopping
Okay,
up a little
tell us a
bit.
little bit about a real tip.
How to get to
A
them?
lot of people say sometimes, yeah, I know how to cut them off the spare ribs. Oh, you got a video, don't you?
Yep, I got a video. I break it all the way down. It's pretty easy too. At the end of the day, truthfully, I think the
All
average
right,
person
let's
just
go.
don't know what it is. They assume that it's probably something different. They don't understand exactly what they're looking at. But once you know what it is, it's nothing to go in there as long as you got a respectfully sharp knife and go ahead and break them down.
All right, so can we have a little talk about rib tips now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
Make
so
me hungry.
it's a spare rib first of all, okay? And you want to take the spare ribs, you want to I started the third longest bone, and I make my cutting where I'm gonna cut at, okay? And I go down from that bone. I'm not getting all your video because I know you got a rib tip video, um, Mr. Miller.
Yeah,
Could you
I'll
sit
pull
at
it
the
up.
top of that
Yep.
and put it in there because I'm looking for it. So you cut that spare rib at the highest bone, right there on that cartilage, and you go down straight. And I like my rib tip. I like to keep the breastbone on my rib tip. A lot of pit masters don't. They'll cut that breastbone right off. I keep my breastbone on my rib tip. So that's how I cut my rib tips, and I kind of round it off because that other meat will burn at the end. So I kind of take that off. Some pit masters leave that on, but I take mine off because I don't want nothing that could be offensive and burn and get in people's teeth.
There you go. I
So
just said it to you. I agree. I do the same thing. I cut all of that off, and I try my best. Whatever I'm gonna end up putting out there in the end product to make it as clean and pretty as you can, you know, at the end of the day. So I try to make the spare nice and pretty. The other thing along the way, I like have me a little bit of taste testers, you know, something I can grab up off there and bash real quick on the way. So usually some of them little extra pieces don't even make it to the tips. Them end up being just some ones that'll go along the way, and then we chop up all the rest of it on the back end.
It's also cheaper to buy the full rack. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Mom, Papa, CJ, yeah, it is. It is a lot cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. So we talked about all the good things. Let's talk about some of the difficult things, Mr. Killer Miller. What is something that you say, T, and I know what you're gonna say, but what is something that you still saying that, hey, I got to work at? Is it a food out there that you just like, you dodging like the mob, like you dodging like it's bad news bell, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is something out there that you ain't got a video of that you like, or you did a video, you like, I can't put this crap up. Nah. So can you let me know, is it kryptonite out there, Mr. Killer Miller, out there on that grill for you?
Ain't no kryptonite yet. I was gonna say, at least as far as the food thing, I enjoy the challenges, man. So I actually haven't had no real issues as long as I take my time and research what I'm gonna do. Usually when I go in there for the cook, I can go ahead and lay it down. If anything, what I was thinking about is more towards like the analytics and some of the things that happen on the back end that you know, when you're doing another career, you know, a whole other job, got family and everything else, it's like the last little bit of things that I ain't took the time to really learn or really sharpen my edges on some of that stuff to maybe get more of your video out there to more people and stuff like that. But as far as the cooks, I try not to avoid too much stuff. Only thing is things that maybe I don't eat. But other than that, I like to go in there and kind of mix it up and get a little bit of everything. But I'm sure some things I definitely haven't got to yet. But we coming.
So me personally, you know, when I think about just the thrill of cooking and finding that thing, like to me, it still comes to like consistency, consistency. And I think that's one thing that the SBG and also the mop sauce by having. Hey, Killer, can you take over for me for a second, brother?
For sure. Let's see what we can do.
All right, I'll be ready and okay.
Yep.
All right, hold on.
All right, so let's see if I can run this thing solo. I know you was talking more or less on consistency, and I could agree to that. Definitely, overall, with trying to just be consistent as far as the product that I put out there, the videos themselves and the quality of it. Those are things that I always kind of find that I personally, as a person that somewhat is a perfectionist, those are things that I'm always trying to work on to get better at. It was something that I never was necessarily into. I didn't really do a whole lot of social media before starting to do some creating with the videos. Other than you know, some of my classes that I would teach, I would always kind of promote and put my classes or whenever my clients would post different things, video of them in the workouts, stuff like that. I would put up there. But as far as me putting up a whole lot about me or a bunch of pictures about myself, it was never necessarily the thing that I did so much of. So naturally, it was something that I was used to doing as far as working with people and talking in front of crowds and stuff like that. So that was pretty easy. This part, as far as getting out there more and promoting myself more or being in front of more people to let them know more about what I'm doing, was never anything that I did much of. So that was one thing that I'm kind of more or less learning is the social media aspect of it, how to put the stuff out there so people can actually consume it. And then also how to maybe take some of those things that I'm making and all these longer YouTube cooks and to start to be able to get more content out of it by breaking it up and being able to put it on different platforms. Anybody out there got any questions while I got this thing to myself? And if so, I jump on some of those. Yeah, type quick. Definitely notice some of the names in the chat. So if nothing else, I'm glad everybody that stopped in. They don't necessarily show. I don't see the actual account of who all is on, but appreciate all the people that jumped in here and said what's up. Definitely take a second to run by my channel, check it out, subscribe, and then make sure that you leave a comment as you kind of go through and everything. I love to kind of interact with people and then like questions and stuff like that. For what it's worth, I give you whatever I got. Miss Scott, where did you get your desire for barbecuing? For me, it was something that came natural. My whole family is from down south, so cooking has always been big. So, food and fellowship was always just something that was a big thing to do whenever you can. So, like I was saying, my weekends and when I kind of have my time to have my cheap meals and my chance to lay my hair down, shall we say, that was always something that I took pride in, was being able to kind of do something on the side or be able to do some kind of cook. I think like every man, you kind of get a house, you want to have a grill, you want to be able to say you can cook or whatever on the grill. So that was kind of natural. I'm a steak guy, so some of that stuff was kind of just the basics. And then, like I said, once I saw Barbecue Pitmasters, it kind of just took off for me wanting to learn how to do the smoking part of the meats and everything a lot more. And then while I was doing that, of course, I'm just learning and passing out food to friends and having people over for different, fights, sports, stuff like that. A lot of my friends and family was keep on telling me that it was good. I should try to do competition myself. Maybe you should sell some plates. And it just really wasn't my desire. But it was really once I got that grill that kind of pushed me out there to say that I start sharing content. Since then, I actually loved it. So it's been kind of cool the last year. Only been a year. Jenny, thank you. All of the videos. My uncle said is my teddy bear. Uncle said is the dude. I can't hate on Uncle said at all. Love that guy. Gordon, so what type of trims do you like to do on your briskets? My trim is pretty aggressive for what it's worth. I tell you, and I don't just say it because he in here. Definitely the best trim in the game. Check out CJ over there with Mama and Papa Joe's. I've learned a lot just watching his trimming videos and seeing him just trim in general. There's just continued to teach me more about it. In general, one thing I will say, what I learned with briskets, my briskets got better as far as the way they came out tasting when I learned to trim more. To be honest with you, you would find that more of your biscuit will brace itself, and a lot of the juice that comes off of it will just kind of naturally run to the side and kind of baste over the meat versus kind of pooling in some of the areas and then giving you those areas where you end up messing up your bark. Overall, I like to get down to probably a 1/4 inch of fat on the back and try to trim it off so it's more or less even, so it can sit a little bit flatter, and then get down those edges on the side and then kind of more or less round it out in the tip. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's looking almost like a stadium or something like that. It's a little more rounded off. It's not taking too many heat on the edges or nothing like that. And then I've always been somebody, probably because of the fitness background, where I don't mind taking the fat off. So especially on my meat side, I like to take off most of that silver skin and stuff and get it looking pretty for what it's worth. The other thing is, for me, it helped to be able to find more things to do with my brisket, because otherwise it was kind of intimidating to sit there and cook that much meat and then just slice it all up, and eventually you tired of eating the brisket. But once I started to trim more, that was less that I had to cook. It cooked more efficient. It cooked quicker. It cooked better. I could take those trimmings, put them to the side. I've done things like just ground beef with, make brisket tacos or make a brisket burger with it or something like that. I recently just did like brisket sausages. That came out good. So I kind of like being able to now trim off more and not be afraid or think that I'm wasting it or anything like that. And you can do a lot of different stuff with that. As well as now, too, I'll also take that fat and I'll go ahead and make my own tallow, which I turn around and then baste it with or use like on my Blackstone or whatever. So all of that makes the brisket go a lot faster for me. Appreciate you checking it out, Gordon. Pork wings. No, I never had pork wings. I never seen pork wings either. I've seen the pork briskets. They look a little weird. I don't know if I'm gonna try that one day or not. They look small, but interesting. Anybody else got any other questions on anything barbecue related? Things that are on my channel, fitness related. So we kind of cracked the nugget on that. That'll be something that I definitely kind of start throwing out there a little bit more. I think it's something that's kind of missing in our barbecue community is we get a lot of the different ways to make some horrible foods as nice and comfort foods. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that we got to always eat like that. Or the other thing I also think of is just my natural fitness side of it is I don't want to, all my barbecue brethren. I don't want to leave everybody by the wayside as far as health and everything as well. So it can be something that we can all share a little bit of the knowledge, and whether everybody's goal is to try to get ripped up or whatever have you. But you could probably look to be more fit, and that was kind of initially something that I thought was cool with getting out here and doing these videos, with showing other people how easy it is to go out there and create their own meals or do some of this stuff, save some money, start doing things for your own family, which is always a good thing. And then burn some calories being on your feet, creating that food and so on and so forth. We done got pretty lazy these days as a society. I love cedar flavor in my barbecue. I don't think I had much of the cedar flavor other than cedar, like on the cedar plank. And I did like that as far as like being able to do some salmon or something like that on there. That's something actually I want to do again sometime soon. That's one of the first times I cooked with some fish on the smoker. Do you cook ribs till they fall off the bone, or do you leave some pull? I don't like fall off the bone personally. I think part of that is the competition world, so I already knew that was kind of like a no-no, and that was kind of what initially kind of got me started. So it was always, no, I got to have bite through. I'm trying to get a pretty bite mark. But even to my personal palate, I also remember the days back in the day where we would do ribs in a slow cooker or something like that, and them ain't ribs to me. You end up with just pretty much pulled meat. Not to say it doesn't taste good, but I like a little bit of tug to it. I like to be able to pull it off the bone. When I think about barbecue, I think about ribs in general. And being able to bite them off of the bone is the whole thing about having a good rib, is being able to have a bone that you're actually eating off of. If it's just going to all slide off the moment I take a bite on it and everything, then I don't really need the bone, and it kind of gets it all messed up for me. So I like a little pull of mine. There go the man.
Hey, guys. I'm sorry. That's work calling. I got a situation at work, when my job call is always something that's pretty bad. So I got to, but with that being said, let's continue to chat, guys. Well, you're doing a good job.
Take good care of me, man.
All right, y'all, come on, bring the questions to Killer Miller. Have I ever did tri-tip? I didn't did tri-tip before. Have you did tri-tip, Killer Miller?
Oh yeah, man, I love tri-tip. That's a good one. That would be one of those things I potentially might throw on there if you came out knowing that you like some steak and everything.
My next video, one of my next videos is gonna be a tri-tip. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna smoke the tri-tip at a low temperature. Then I'm gonna sous vide it for like 5 or 6 hours. Then I'm gonna grill it off on the charcoal grill. Okay. Now, do you leave the fat on the tri-tip? When I did my tri-tip, I got all the fat off of it. So what would you do?
I guess it depends. Most of the time I be getting mine at Costco, and they got it so clean, I don't really got much I can do. There's barely a little bit of fat on there as is, so I usually leave that just as a little something to protect. But I mean, it is little. But at the same time, I see some at my local grocery store, and there's a little bit more fatty. I mean, I guess it kind of depends on how you like it. I mean, really, tri-tip is nothing but a giant steak, so you can kind of treat it as such. So a lot of times people don't like the fat on there to start, just because they want to make sure that they can get some of that seasoning on there. Like I said, I like to leave some on there to kind of give me a little something to fight with, and then I'll kind of let that be on the grill, and I usually don't have too much of an issue.
So here we got a try. Killer Miller has a try. You got a tri-tip video, right?
Yeah, I got a few of them. I was going to ask you, ever tried doing that? For a lot of times, people were talking about it, the tri-tip like a brisket.
Yes, I got a couple of videos with that tri-tip like a brisket. I got quite a few videos. There go, right there, Mr. Killer Miller Q. Go subscribe. Go over there and check the videos out. And Papa Joe, the king himself, the king, says, leave that
fat on there.
On there.
That is flavor.
Leave it on there. Leave it alone. Leave it alone, Papa Joe. Oh my goodness. I mean, with that being said, like I don't know. Tri-tip remind me so much of sirloin texture, sirloin texture. I just have an issue with that because I feel like you're paying so much money for a sirloin
or a basic steak.
Yeah, so when I think of tri-tip, I just like I guess I got the sous vide. That's what the guy told my buddy Rick from the meat stall. He was like, "Yo, man, you got to hit that up with the sous vide machine." So I think I may have to try that, man.
Get it nice and tender.
Yes, we got Marilyn. Okay, got another couple questions. Okay, shoot. Question for you.
Oh no. Oh no. I've never used liquid smoke on definitely. If I gotta put liquid smoke on some barbecue, at least let somebody be cooking indoors and they said I'm gonna put some liquid smoke in there so it get a taste of smoke in it. And even then I wouldn't do it. But there's no way I'm putting liquid smoke on something I'm barbecuing, or I did not do something right on the front end.
Let me find out, Mr. Miller.
And that's personally. I'm not saying that somebody might be doing something with liquid smoke and it's
out,
fire.
Mr. Miller. Let me find out. You listen to that liquid smoke and that pink salt. Using that pink salt trying to get smoke rings out there in Arizona. Liquid smoke,
I can't do
salt.
it. So personally, no liquid smoke, but I don't even like it.
Okay then.
Papa Joe said no tri-tip like a brisket. Papa Joe like he is at 135 though.
Oh yeah, I'm more of a 135 kind of guy. My wife like hers a mooing. 122, 120.
Woo.
That joke will just be barely warm through. My wife like hers like that joke, boy.
I'm definitely on the higher end. I'm more medium well.
No, you get mine hot pink center.
Y'all easy to cook for, man. I can take care of y'all and get y'all out of there. You got liquid smoke your top and sear it off and send you on your way. You be happy.
I be burping away.
138. Okay, I was almost right. Liquid smoke.
Oh man, it must be in Iowa. Hey, Killer Bill, the roots go deep in Iowa, don't it, brother?
Oh yeah, man. My family right there in Iowa, man. I'm representing there too. At the end of the day, you can't go wrong out there in Waterloo, Black Hawk County. Nothing but love. Yeah.
Black Hawk County, yes sir, yes indeed, yes indeed. The Lou.
The Lou, you already know.
Oh, we got some subscribers.
There we go. Thanks for subscribing, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Uh-oh.
Right here. Turkeys.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, you put that on them turkeys. Oh my goodness, the color of that sazon.
Check that video out. I ain't see that one.
Man, them turkeys look like they came off the showroom floor. People were like, God dang, T. I'm telling you, man, I had the prettiest turkeys on YouTube. My turkeys looking like Mama and Papa Joe brisket. I'm telling you what, you know, he a bad man when it comes to trimming them briskets.
He's nothing like it.
Man, them turkeys I cook with that doggone sazon, man, I'm telling you, man, they look orange. Go check them out, man, with turkey videos, man.
Let me check it out.
Just salt and sazon. That's it. That's it. Salt and sazon. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I've never tasted sazon. I'm gonna try that.
Man, you put that that's just gonna turn your hand orange. It's gonna turn your hand. You got a red and an orange. So you got to put gloves on. You know, but I'm telling you, try it on some turkey. Do a salt brine, then go with some sazon. And they sell them in little packets. They don't sell them in bottles anymore. They sell them little. You bust the packets open, you put that all over the turkey. It turns it bright orange or bright red. And you just smoke with that clean, got to be clean smoke now. Can't have no dirty smoke.
Always.
Man, everything looks amazing. It really helps you render the skin. It does something to the turkey. People love my turkey.
Add in a lot of flavor.
Oh, flavor to the bone, man. It actually tattoos the meat. The meat, when you slice the turkey, the meat that turn kind of orange looking a little bit. But it's off the chain, man. And I got an amen on that. Amen. My Puerto Rican queen.
I'm gonna check it out.
Check it out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're always learning something new. It's always something to play with.
Where do you get sazon? Amazon, Walmart, all that good stuff. Amazon, Walmart, all your Hispanic stores, any kind of ethnic store, they share that sazon.
I should be able to find that easy out here. I'm not worried.
Yes. You find sazon. You know, buy a couple boxes of it. It's like $1.25 a box. And me, I put like a whole box on a turkey because they only come in a little packets. And it's not salted, so you go heavy. I actually put Sazon on ribs before. On pork ribs. It turned the ribs red, and you don't get that candy taste, but it look candy. It looks sweet, but it's not. It's very savory seasoned.
Okay, I definitely seen Goya. Let me check. I'm gonna check that out.
Hey, they sure do, don't they?
CJ.
I do. A fake tan. hey, let's make barbecue great again.
That's great.
I got
so T, I got a perfect one for you. So what you cooking for Christmas, man?
Man,
I'm looking for ideas.
So for Christmas, I'm gonna do a standing rib roast, bone in, prime rib, and I think I'm gonna get some fingerling, potatoes, and I made this up the other day. I did a catering event, and I want to do something different, so I just made something up. What I got a see, I'm talking to the healthy man over here, but this is what I did though.
We cheap for Christmas.
They pay me to do the something that's supposed to pay, so I can't cut back when people paying me. So I brought a one of those blenders, and I got 5 sticks of butter, 3 cups of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. I got 8 sprigs of rosemary, put them in there. I got a bunch of thyme, fresh thyme too, put in there. 8 garlic cloves, a dash of salt, fresh cracked pepper, and I blended all that up till it got hot. And when it got hot, it got like kind of steamy. And I poured that over the potatoes on a cookie sheet, and I put that on my smoker. And I let that cook onto my potatoes, and I kept turning them. So I kind of fried them at the same time, them little fingerling potatoes.
That couldn't have been bad.
And it cracked open a little bit, and then I poured that juice all over it. So I had that, rosemary, garlic, thyme, all that poured over the potatoes. Hey, sweetie.
Hi.
Hello. Oh,
I knew she'd be coming soon.
And I'm doing that with prime rib, and I'm doing a sweet potato for me because I'm trying to cut back on carbs, so I do sweet potato. The doctor told me sweet potato is a lot better than a lot of other potatoes. So I'm doing a sweet potato for me, and I like my sweet potato roasted.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm gonna do some cream of spinach. I like to get the spinach and wring it out and put a cream sauce on it. And I'm doing a bunch of mushrooms and some corn, and that's about it. And for dessert, I'm gonna do for dessert, I'm gonna do probably a Mama's Pal pound cake. I'm known for my pound cake. I make a bean pound cake, Killer Miller.
Oh, you ain't the only one. Normally, that's one of the few things I usually do make. Is Grandma always had a 7-Up cake. So normally that's
what you know about that, Mr. Miller?
Hey man, I told you we country.
Ooh, I was country when country wasn't cool.
Hey, so usually we take that old 7-Up cake, and after that, I'll take a couple sips of that, and it'll be no good, man.
Yeah, Jello cake. Oh,
duck confit.
Oh, confit.
CJ always putting me on something else. I never tried no duck yet.
Now, I don't know. CJ like a lot of strong meat. Like I want to do CJ eat goat. Like I don't mess with no goat. I grew up eating goat. I just never messed with it, man. Cause I had to eat it when I was younger. I just thought, oh man, I can't mess with no goat. But I think CJ eat goat.
Drink all my water.
I can't mess with goat.
Nope, no goat for me either.
Yeah, I don't mess with lamb. CJ had a video out today. He made some lamb ribs. Guys, go check out Mama Papa Joe. He made lamb ribs today. Go over there and check his channel out. Did you see the lamb rib video?
I saw it pop up on my mentions. That's why I got to get back. I'm behind.
Hey,
Definitely got to see it.
my boy Meat Stall in the house. What's going on, Stall? That's my guy right there. That's my brother from another mother, the Meat Stall. Meat Stall, you got any questions for Mr. Killer Miller Q?
God,
Sorry.
stop moving me.
Yeah, I was about to say me, no goat, no lamb either. I'm
Okay,
scared.
okay. Well, we got a lot in common. I'm all about that beef, pork, and chicken.
Pretty much. I'm simple.
Me
I
too.
do a little seafood, but I really don't do too much crazy on the seafood either, man. All we, growing up, all we was doing was frying catfish. So obviously that wasn't quite towards the healthy side of it all. But now I mess with a little bit of salmon, stuff like that.
You can't do it the catfish butt fried. I mean, what can you do with catfish?
There ain't nothing else to do. I guess they
Yeah.
blacken it, but I don't want nothing to do with it.
Me neither, man.
What's up, Meat Star?
Do I eat dip? Is grits, eggs, and sausage grocery? Yes, I eat dip. Is grits, eggs, sausage grocery? Yes, indeed. I just put one down here last week, Killer Miller. I went deer hunting. I shot about.
I did see I seen your pictures that you got one.
Oh yeah. I killed 4 or 5, but I won't put them on YouTube no more. I lost a bunch of subscribers by doing that.
Oh, you end up in a fight over it, man.
Yeah, I put it on YouTube live.
I was gonna say I had one time Grandma got me with some deer meat. At the end of the day, it was smothered in gravy and over rice and everything, and I'm smashing along. And then eventually they end up asking me, you know what you eating? And I was like, oh, beef, whatever. They're like, no, that's deer. So I ain't eating no more. But up until that point, it was fire. Up until that point, it was fire, man.
No, man. I was talking to my boy Rick. I was saying, Rick, you come to my house, you gotta eat some of the squirrel. Rick said, I ain't gonna eat no squirrels.
Nope.
I eat squirrel.
That's my dad. Daddy, squirrel, coon, you name it.
Oh man, me and Pops need to kick it, man, because we country.
He eat the whole neck at turkey right there at the table. I mean, at Thanksgiving, he eat the whole neck right at the table.
Killer Miller, I thought you were country. You just told me you were country.
I said we country, but I was saying no back then. This ain't had nothing to do with fitness or nothing. I wasn't touching chitlins. Hey man, if it don't smell right or look right, I was scary early.
No chitlins?
No chitlins.
That's one thing. My wife eat chitlins and she bougie. She from Waterloo. I ain't eat no chitlins. Look at Rick talk tree rats.
No, I can't do it.
Ooh, y'all know what y'all miss. I guess I just have to kill them all for you.
The tree rats.
Man, look.
Yeah, I was scared of chitlins a long time ago.
Look, man, I'm good. I ain't no chitlin guy. I can cook them. I can make them taste good, but I just don't eat them.
Nah, I'm all right. I'm at the pass on that one.
So, Mr. Miller, now we talking about all this good stuff. Can you just do one thing for me? Can you let us know what people gonna get coming to your channel and what you plan to continue doing?
Yeah, easy. One thing, you always get a whole lot of smiles, for what it's worth. It might be by myself, but I enjoy having a good time. It's showing that love. Am I still? Uh-oh. There we go. All right, I think I got kicked to the back. Uh-oh, now it might just be me. But in general, what I would say is you always get a good time, man. I always work hard to make sure we get a good cook. For what it's worth, I like to put it all on the table. So as far as anything that I use, methods, rubs, you name it, I'm an open book. So if it can help you move forward and get through it a little quicker, that's why I kind of put it out there. So I don't hold back. I usually kind of go with a teaching style to show you a little bit of everything and bring you in close. And then other than that, I always try to make sure we come out of there with something good. In the end of the day, the one thing that I always do want everybody to leave with is a feeling of positivity and something like that. And then, we just kind of connect and go from there. Let's see. I see I'm not eating no chitlins or tree rats. I'm with you. My granddaddy used to cook the whole coon with the head still on. Ooh, now that's that. I ain't never seen that one. I'm with you, Bill. I'm not eating them dookie strings. that booty meat. I'm out. I can't do nothing with it, man. At the end of the day, like I said, that was long before I got into fitness. But then now, hearing other people just talk more about it from the fitness standpoint, and why would you want to eat something that you got to do all of that to clean it, knowing where it came from and knowing what animal it came from? By the time we get to that, I'm way gone. So I keep it simple. We do the steak or something like that.
You steak like that.
Something like that. Let's see. Too cold up in Maryland.
Something like that.
Eating canned pulled pork. Oh, that hurts. Out there in Baltimore, you get you a pellet grill. At least you can slide out there. Maybe you get a garage or something, Ruben. Jenny, the way you guys make sausage was very occasional. That cold water curing. Can you explain that a little bit more? Yeah, that's actually a good one. So, like when you're doing the sausage, it the whole time everything is warming up from the moment you like turn on the blender and it's grinding, all the way down. Y'all see, I got my friend with me. I want to keep the camera. I was about to say, so everything's usually kind of like warming up the whole time. So you want to keep everything cold. The moment it gets all warm, the harder it is for it to actually for you to form it and for it to get pushed into the casings and everything like that. So using that cold water kind of keeps everything down, and you got to usually add a component of water to it or whatever. So usually you'll see people either add in directly some ice or some crushed ice or some real cold water or something like that. Kirby, another Black Smoke Barbecue fella in here. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Anybody else got anything question-wise, anything like that? I'm assuming T got kicked out again or whatever have you. So I hold down the chat. See what else going out. Me and my baby here. Y'all call sausages hot guts down there in Texas. Glizzy. The sausages is all right. I was gonna say I did brisket sausage with a lot of the brisket trimmings that I had left. I enjoyed doing that one. I'm looking forward to doing another video here soon. I'll do a pork sausages, and on that one I'll probably grind up like a pork butt, and maybe we do something like cheese and jalapeno or something like that to kind of play with, rather than just the same. But it was nice doing the sausages. I've cooked bison burgers and steak before, and it was very good, but you have to do it. I do like bison. That's something I go with. I know. I was going to say, I do like bison at the end of the day. It's super lean, so you got to be careful because it can be super dry on you. But, I mean, there's a couple of little healthy restaurants that sometimes I might get like a burger from during the week or something like that. And they do got a pretty place called Protein House out here. They do got a pretty good bison burger. And I'm assuming, but I never had like the bison steak or anything like that though. Ragwan, what made me choose the Lone Star? You know what? So as I was kind of looking around at offset smokers, when I came across that Lone Star, and for one, it just popped to me as far as my eye. It looked good, and once I was looking to spend on something, obviously I wanted something that was gonna look good. But the other thing is, I wanted, if I was gonna spend some money on something as I was looking to upgrade. Being out here in Arizona, the heat and the sun just kind of beats up everything. So I really wanted to make sure that I got something that was going to be able to kind of hold up to all that sun. So I went with that Lone Star because one of the main things that I kept hearing from everybody as I was watching reviews, seeing somebody cook with, was they was talking about how heavy duty it was, how thick the metal was, and the quality and the craftsmanship. And that meant a whole lot because I wanted to be able to something. If I was going to spend some money on something, I wanted it to be able to last through the sun. So that was pretty much what really made me went to the Lone Star. First off, the craftsmanship and the manufacturing and everything. And then from there, once I really started researching it, I felt like it was just like one of the better looking grills and everything if I was going to spend that kind of money. We made onion sausage back in South Carolina. The only onion sausage and definitely Carolina Gold sauce. I make it myself. Nice. I like that. Onion sausage, huh? Was that with beef? The onion sausage with like beef or onion sausage with like pork? That's interesting. Especially once you add in a little bit of Carolina Gold. That's all right. Lone Star is nice. Hopefully you're talking about mine, Miss Scott. Thank you. Jenny said it's with pork. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good, actually. Onion and pork. How bad could it be? At the end of the day, in the sausage with the Carolina Gold, I can get with that. Yeah, I definitely like to kind of play around and try a little bit of all of that. I said that was my first time doing sausage, but that one I nailed it. It was able to be able to something that I nailed right off the bat. But I took a long time to kind of look it over before I actually kind of jumped out there to actually try it. And I actually did that one with just like the KitchenAid, so it was something that I was able to kind of knock out without having to buy an actual meat grinder or anything like that. Bart, I'm new from Kirkland. I'm sure you use foil once in a while, but do you feel the need to wrap or use parchment paper? What are your thoughts? What's up, Bart? Yeah, you know what? You had said we were talking about that a little bit earlier. And I got a video on my channel that I did probably only about 3 weeks ago or so, where I was kind of just doing a experiment on my Lone Star with some ribs. It was actually for Thanksgiving because I had already did my turkey and everything. So we did ribs for Thanksgiving. I did one wrap, one with butcher paper, one with aluminum foil, and then the other one I just did on the rack. To be honest with you, and that was my first time ever doing like that experiment and getting to taste them side by side like that. I like the texture and the way that the smoke and the taste and everything was on the two that was the ones that was no wrap at all, and the one that used the butcher paper. The one that had the aluminum foil was not like it was soggy, but definitely it had the softer texture, and I noticed a lot less of the smoke flavor. Believe it or not, it's kind of weird, but each one of them actually kind of tasted different. The other two definitely tasted more the same, but definitely the either one of the, whether I'm talking about the butcher paper or the no wrap, had a completely different taste than the ones that went in the foil. So I'm kind of staying away from doing the foil now, but I do still use foil if I was wrapping like a pork butt or something like that, where I really want to try to keep a lot of that moisture. So I still play with it, depending on some things, but not so much direct. Let's see. So what's your end game with barbecue? You know what? I don't know what the end game is, man. We just continuing to grow as this thing been going on. One thing now is I kind of look at it as it's been fun to kind of be able to getting into catering competition or just keeping it as a hobby. One thing is I said no matter what, I will keep it as a hobby because I don't want to lose my passion for it. Luckily I wasn't going into this for money, and I already do, pretty well with what I do, with my professional thing. So that's kind of like the main game. But now I kind of think of it as, who knows, maybe this end up being something that I can do retirement wise or something like that. I don't want to do catering or try to do a restaurant myself, only because, man, it's a lot of work. As far as, when I see my guys that do it and the things they have to do, that would become then where maybe I'll be like T, and I don't want to even taste no pork butter, nothing like that. I can be like that now, but at least I can cook what I want when I want it. I could see myself doing something where, when I get towards the holidays and I start doing some specials or something like that, and then maybe I'll do a bunch of cooks for just some people that want some help with doing some big stuff. Hey, I'm doing turkeys or something like that. Throw a little cost on there and then knock out a few turkeys for a couple nights, make a couple extra dollars for the holidays or something like that, or some of those bigger events. But if anything, I probably see my end game or the areas that I would probably want to go more into, whether it's actually looking at endorsing some type of a product that would have to be something that I more or less believe in, or something that I'm real comfortable with. Because other than that, I really wouldn't just want to endorse something to endorse it. It would have to be something that I actually like and then kind of like want to put out there. But just something where I continue to kind of help and spark more people to want to barbecue and stuff like that. I enjoy more of the social part and the connecting with the people and just more or less the teaching of it. All right, what else we got? Butcher paper, yes. George, what's up? That's $10. I wish that $10 was coming to me, man. Anything other than a hobby becomes work. I'm with you, CJ. I like to keep it fun, man. Keep it light. Right now, a lot of people say, "What you do with all that stuff?" But truthfully, everything I cook, we eat. I always been like that. Even before doing the channel, we pretty much cook all the food for the week or whatever have you, like we talked about with meal prep and stuff. So whatever I'm usually eating, I'm incorporating into my weekend, or I'm incorporating into the weekends cooks. What's up? What's up?
Gone?
Nope. We still on.
Why is it taking so?
We get to play some. Let's see.
I don't see what's in the box.
Anybody else got any questions, anything like that? I don't know how many people we still got in the chat. Maybe one of y'all shoot me a message. Let me know how many people is still in. So if we still in, people still got questions, I'll hold it down. I don't know if T got knocked off or not, but we'll go until it ain't no more, like normal. $23. All right, we got some people's left. Anybody else got any other questions or anything like that? I mean, obviously, I'm seeing a lot of my barbecue guys in here. I appreciate y'all pumping in, saying what's up and everything. Anything y'all can think of? Do I ever get barbecued out? I don't personally, being that I can see easily how T or somebody like that that's doing more of the catering could be barbecued out. Just to sit there and make the sheer number of pork butts and ribs and all of that stuff would probably get you to the point where you almost don't want to taste nothing. But for me, I'm bouncing around a lot between different grills. I'm always doing different kind of cooks. I usually rarely try to do the same meats back to back. So normally if I'm doing beef on this week, next week I'm going to be doing pork, or I'm going to be doing chicken or something like that. So I kind of put all of that. I kind of do all of that more or less around the whole idea of not getting me all burnt out. So for me, I really don't. I just kind of end up doing something different. Plus, I enjoy the cooking. So one way or another, I try to find something else. But if I had to always cook the exact same meat, I probably would. What else we got here? Ever try carne asada? I haven't yet on the channel. That's one of those ones that be coming up, but I definitely love carne asada. That's a good one. Can't go wrong. Do you ever cook whole chickens or do you prefer parts? You know, I do both. When I actually did that jerk chicken video we were talking about earlier, I started with a whole chicken and I broke that down into parts. And then that's where I actually made the jerk chicken out of. But in general, I usually, like a lot of times, will cook whole chicken. So, I mean, I got some different cooks on there where I'm just kind of pulling off the chicken and then end up using that for, like, I think I did a smoked chicken soup or something like that. I end up using a whole chicken. I'm actually doing something right now that I probably make into a short where I'm using that Cuban mojo marinade that I had left, and I'm marinating the whole chicken, and then we're gonna season it up and rotisserie it. What's my channel? It's the same name that's under me. It's Killer Miller Q. 3 words. QUE for Q.
Hey, I got a super chat here. Thank you so much.
George said half of that's supposed to go to me. I don't know how
Okay,
we'll break
then.
that down. I don't know how we can figure that out. You can just send me that $5.
I cash app you. Oh, hey, Killer Miller channel is right here in the chat. Killer Miller Q, right here in the chat. I'm gonna put it in the chat right here. If y'all want to go and check out Killer Miller and subscribe to his channel, I will appreciate that, because let me tell you something. You go there to his channel, you will be rewarded with outstanding barbecue literature, outstanding videos, outstanding cooks, and on top of that, this man also can give you healthy ways of balancing, have a balanced life, so you can live longer, and also a more quality life, and understanding barbecue in a way where you can have the best of both worlds, healthy and a great quality life, because that is what he does for a living, as running his YouTube channel and business. So I mean, that's the best of both worlds right there. I'm really gonna use him and pick his brain, because I want to stay healthy in this barbecue
Endeavor.
journey. Amen.
Yep.
I want to stay healthy, and in order to stay healthy, you God put people in your life that you have to pick their brains more than what you put on your sauce, what you do this, but also, how can I balance this thing out? Because what I was doing wasn't healthy and wasn't gonna get me to my end goal of being healthy enough to continue to put out barbecue and do what I do, to do my dream, because you need your health. Your health is your best investment. Don't you agree, Mr. Miller? Like
I've
before you
always been saying it for years. At the end of the day, I always say I'm spreading wealth through health, and now I just get to do it a different way. So
spread
I'm here
health,
for you. Wealth through health.
wealth through health. Come on, man. That's outstanding. Spreading wealth through health. You got to be healthy to get wealthy.
Come on, that's the best wealth you can have, man. A dollar don't mean nothing if you can't actually enjoy yourself to be able to spend it.
Come on, man.
A lot of people walk around with a lot of money, man, that they, can't enjoy their life, or, half of their money is being spent on keeping them alive or medicines, or it's being passed down to the next. Not that anything's wrong with that, but we on this world, we've been placed on this earth for a reason. It's to live this thing, man. You got to ride it till the wheels fall off. And I don't want them wheels to fall off too early, for what it's worth. The things that I can control on my own, I got to do something about it.
Come on, that's what I'm talking about, right there.
So needless to say, I always got your back, T. You always hit me up, ask whatever, man. I that's what I do, so it's natural.
Man, I appreciate that. And one big thing I got on that, and people think it's so simple, but it's that water thing, cause man, and could you repeat that again about the water, guys? Cause it's people on this chat that wasn't here at first. Could you tell us a little bit more about that water? You're drinking water, it helps your body to regulate all that bad toxin and things out of your body, but you have to drink a certain percentage of water. And could you just explain that percentage? And if I'm I'm bigger than 200 pounds, but if I was 200 pounds, how much water should I drink?
So easy way to think of it is half of your body weight in ounces. So 200 pounds, 100 ounces of water is what you should be drinking in a day. And that doesn't mean just drink 100 ounces straight, because if we just chugged 100 ounces, all you're going to do is turn around and piss it right out. So, you want to be regularly getting that in you throughout the day. If you can think about that in a bottle of water, I think is like 16.9 ounces, if I can, off the top of my head, I think it is. So, you kind of think in moderation throughout your day. You want to be always putting a little bit of water in with each one of your meals, your snacks and stuff like that. And it's just going to help you with hydrating your body, hydrating your muscle, allowing you to get more fat out of your system, whether it's you being bloated and additional water and stuff like that, or just in general. When you talk about diseases and things like that, you need things to be able to pass throughout your body and not to sit there. And usually that's where you have issues, is when things don't flow well in your body. So that's one of the easiest things, is like step one on your diet, or when people are trying to get themselves to eating a little bit better, is to increase the water that they've been drinking and get to the point where probably actually drinking water and not so many of the other things. Probably a drop of what they doing as far as calories, with getting rid of sugary drinks and stuff like that. But then also will start helping them to regulate. And then the other thing I was saying was that so many times you're not even really hungry. When you get that feeling of hunger, you actually thirsty. So by drinking more water, you might find yourself snacking less and stuff like that. So a lot of times in this stuff, it's like one thing leads to the next. You start off with some one thing, and then usually you can make it to the next big step. But usually at the same time, people spiral pretty quick too. So then once something happens and you fall off, usually from there, everybody continue to just fall off. One drink turned into 10. You know what I mean? One little bit of chocolate ended up turning into a bowl of this, and everything else we didn't eat that we could find, whatever happened. So water is the key. Water is king. Protein and water.
Yes. Water is the key. Yes. Thank you for trying that mop sauce. I'm telling you what, that's amazing.
Fire.
That mop sauce is fire, man. And hey, Mr. Killer Miller did a full cook using that mop sauce, man. Hey, I'm telling you what, it was, man, that was a good video. And Kirby Q did a video on that mop sauce. And CJ, man, these guys do an amazing job. Thank y'all so much for supporting me, Mr. Miller. Thank you so much.
No doubt.
Yeah, guys. Thank you.
Great product. I enjoy that mop sauce.
Yes. So, do you think it's a time gonna come where when you start doing more and more videos and you're gonna grow? I know you're gonna grow to this absolutely enormous YouTube channel. Do you think it's gonna be a time come where you're gonna just like, okay, I'm gonna do a basic run through on some healthy cooks and some healthy how to take that chicken you said and put it into our lives where like I do a catering thing kind of every time I do that so people can grab those little nuggets in the mix. And sometimes, I'm showing people how to do stuff without showing them, and it just it's kind of like that, whether people just say, hey, what you got on your steam table? What kind of bags are those? And it's just things that people learn from me. And I think that they can really benefit for you doing that with them. I know I can.
I'm gonna do it. It was something that I wanted to do. As I remember, people start talking about, well, once you make it to a certain level, you could look at doing different paid, channels, or being able to take in, much like you just did, the super chats and stuff. And for me, man, I'm old school, so the last thing I want to do is try to be taking something from somebody and I ain't giving nothing else. That was like the last thing I wanted because I really didn't come here to take anything in the first place. So it was instantly like, well, I wouldn't do that. And then it was one day, just random, Lord, to talk to you. And it kind of hit me that was my chance to be able to kind of add in more fitness, to be able to help people that may, like yourself or anybody else that might be looking for some of that fitness advice, along with a lot of the people. Because first off, I thought about a lot of my other people that do barbecue and that also could benefit from also looking at more things with their own health or just being inspired to maybe take a walk. But, while we just lit them coals up and we waiting for that to come up to temp or blah, 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 maybe you go get a walk real quick. Maybe we go, get a challenge going or something like that. Instead of them clicking the tongs 3 times before you open that grill, drop down and do 3 push-ups or something. I don't know. Anything like that, man, you'd be surprised in life how much stuff add up, and some of the most simplest things and can start to create some good habits and things like that. So I just thought that would be something good. So that's something that you'll start to see now. And that's one reason I wanted to kind of announce it on the show, because I know you wanted to talk a little bit about health. So, and I think that these are some great ideas as far as being able to have some of those videos to show some of just that basic stuff. Because like you said, it's a lot of stuff that I just take for granted. There'll be times when I'm talking about different things where I'm looking at a rub or something like that, and I'll go through on the ingredients on the rub and how I figure out which rubs I'm gonna pair. And you can tell by the ingredients list, because it tells you which ingredient is more based off of which ones, added first. If it starts right off with salt, that means it's a lot of salt. There's more salt than anything else on this. And that's just stuff that I know from understanding food labels and understanding how, things work in grocery stores and stuff like that from fitness. And those will be things that I can kind of throw some of them nuggets in. And like you were saying, people can grab that and be able to do something with it.
With that being said, just picking up a container and reading that, and just at the beginning of your video, like, look, guys, I want to show you the first bit of this on this label. That is amazing, man. And just by you saying that, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. It really does. So, guys, I know Mr. Miller got his lovely daughter in front of him, and I just
he's asleep already.
It's an hour and 47 minutes we've been in. First of all, I want to thank you, Mr. Killer Miller, for giving me your time.
Man, I appreciate you having me on here, man. It's nothing.
And let me tell you something, guys. It could be a part 2 to this, guys. And I apologize for jumping off and on. It's chaotic things going on right now in my work life. But with that being said, guys, go over there and subscribe. Like, guys, if anybody had on this chat, you want to learn something, you got to go where the source is at. And this is the source right there. Killer Miller Q. You're going to get some great techniques. You're going to get some outlook on barbecue, outlook on just things that he does that really gonna pick your brain, that gonna take you there. And it's amazing cooking, and it's simplified, and it's so amazing. You could tell it's amazing. It's like I could taste it. I love your channels, and continue doing. And Wednesday, his video will be out tomorrow. Yep. Can you tell not tell us what, but just tell us a hint of what the video gonna be about tomorrow? A hint.
Yeah, no, this is a good one. Later, CJ. Actually, at the end of the day, like you was kind of talking about, you said you like my video I did in Ohio. I'm just getting back from Ohio. The last week's video I did was in Ohio as well. But it's a kind of another one of those where I'm kind of picking up from the bootstraps. I'm at my dad's house. I got to throw things together. My daughter just had her 4th birthday party while we was there, and I'm cooking for the family for there. So kind of throwing some stuff together there on his grill. And I actually had recently had a chance to go and meet with the Bearded Butchers. They're pretty popular. If you kind of follow anything with butchering, trimming, or game meat, stuff like that, they're out there in what is that, Creston, Ohio, or Crestview. I went out there and was able to get some of their rubs. So I'm gonna be reviewing a couple of their rubs. The beginning, we'll get a chance to kind of kick it with them, and then we'll get into the cooks. But it should be good.
Awesome. So the only way you can do that is subscribe, hit that bell for all his notification. Subscribe, comment, share his videos, guys. Subscribe, comment, share his video. Show the support. If you're watching this later on, guys, please go check out Killer Miller Q's. Your heart will be blessed. Killer Miller, thank you so much, brother, for taking this time out. And I appreciate you. And like I always say, guys, God bless you and God bless America. We out of here. Peace.
Peace, everybody. Toledo, Ohio.
One time.
One time.